This particular technique called Nauli is not recommended for daily practice. This is a part of Kundalini training. It is a technique of Hatha Yoga intended to work for Kundalini process. How many rounds of Uddiyana Bandh you can do for Kundalini awakening? If you are expert in the practice, half an hour you can do. 20 minutes you can do. Even you can go longer. So Kundalini Yoga depends upon your efficiency into other branch of yoga. What happens when you take the belly inside? You contract the abdominal organs. For example, intestines, stomach, also liver, also gallbladder, also kidneys. The deeper effect of Uddiyana Bandh apart from abdominal organ goes to kidneys. Remember this. Kidney does filtration, and kidney is like a sponge. Kidneys are like a spongy organ in the body. So when you do Uddiyana Bandh, followed by Nauli, etc., whatever you do, it contracts this. So whatever has been sucked by kidneys called impurities, it releases. You do exercise in the gyms, it works on the external organs, the muscles. But if you study the muscles in anatomy classes, you will see we have skeletal muscles, we have cardiac muscles. So there are certain kinds of muscles which can't be worked out by exercising. They require some other techniques. For example, Uddiyana Bandh. So if you do these practices, the internal muscles which can't be worked out properly by other external means, they are worked out through this kind of important techniques. Comes in the technique of Satkarma. Satkarma means that which cleanses the toxins from the body. What happens then? Body goes through a kind of transition. In that transition period, the immune system becomes very low. Very low. Low means much lower. Like when you have corona vaccine, some people have felt weakness after vaccination for a couple of days. Some people, the immune system became down, and after a couple of days, it became again stronger. Similar things happen with all the Satkarma practices. It lowers down the immune system. What will happen then? Any delicate organ can get undue influence if you don't maintain a disciplined life for some days. So the moment you perform these techniques in the form of cleansing techniques, you have to have a disciplined way of living. Right food, proper rest, maintaining silence, at least for minimum 4 to 5 days or a week, I would tell you. So that's why I don't recommend this on a daily basis. You do only when you require, and if you do under the guidance. During pregnancy, women should not do it. During menstruation, it should be avoided. Got it? Any kind of abdominal problems, for example, ulcers. It's a very common problem nowadays. Maybe you think you don't have, but you may have. Because the kind of food you eat causes ulcer every day. But because it's mild, you don't feel it. Have you felt abdominal irritation, bloating so much? So people of those kind of conditions must avoid it. Also, there are certain further conditions. If your lifestyle and the quality of food is not properly yogic, you can't do it. For example, you eat pizza, pasta, whatever you eat, and you shouldn't make it like a habit. You shouldn't make it, because then you will have a difficult effect of this. To do Uddiyana Bandh, you have to have abdomen very clean. Total lightness. You can feel the day you are constipated, you can't do properly. The day it's clear, you can do very easy. Same practices. It will feel like a flower blooming. If you are constipated, you will say, it feels heavy. Are you getting my point? So to do it, you must have a clean abdomen. And this will only happen when you have a proper diet, It's very simple. Proper diet you have, vegetarian food you eat. Even if you eat non-vegetarian food, you eat fresh, eat and then you do it. So you have to maintain a proper diet for this kind of techniques. But if you are a beginner, 10 seconds contraction of 3 rounds I always recommend. Minimum 5 seconds, then 10 seconds, gradually. 3 rounds of this would be enough for a good health. If you do Dhyanam on regular basis, you will see the impact of Dhyanam coming on your physiology. It has a very deeper influence. Perhaps you can't imagine how it feels. Again, the same method. Once the Udyanabandha has reached at the deepest point, and then mental projection of this, you collect it internally, both walls. Put the head to the both walls, okay? Together you do inhale, exhale. One time more, inhale, exhale fully through mouth. Hold outside, roll the arms, look forward, and take abdomen as deep as possible. Now look towards your navel. Mentally feel the sides of, and now try to collect the sides. Little bit mentally, don't use the arms, little bit mentally, little bit with the pressure of your muscles. It automatically goes. Relax it, relax your arms, relax belly, neck up, inhale, exhale, relax. The more relaxed you are, the earlier this will happen. And the more you will struggle for this, nature will put you in the waiting list for longer. Try my best. I can give you guarantee about it. It will happen by itself. If you make effort for it, it might be a bit longer. One day it happened. I still remember it. One day it happened softly from one side, the next side, and then it became very easy for me. It will happen very easily.
Does it just pop out?
Automatically, you will see. You will see. Once it pops up, then you can interfere. But popping up is natural. Once it pops up, and then you can little bit squeeze more, collect more. But popping up should be natural. You have to wait for this popping up, okay? Try one time more.
Yes.
Don't use the hands now, okay? Try one time more.
No twisting of the hand.
Yeah, of course you can do it. Try out. Roll the arms. Very good. And look at the navel. Hold it properly. Try to collect little bit mentally more. Just keep patience someday. Relax your arms. Don't hold much. Neck gently up. Inhale and exhale. So there are certain distinctions also. Thought process of men and women are different. Emotion in men and women are different. So altogether certain things distinguishes a man and a woman. Okay. So during menstruation, women should not do. During pregnancy, they should not do. Once they are pregnant, 1 year they spend like in pregnancy, it will take some longer time for them to again restart it. Okay. After childbirth, 3, 4, 5 months time, they must wait for the restart. Okay. So there are certain, otherwise, it's not like for men and women. Of course, for both men and women, I said 20 to 40 years is the real time for exploring yoga deeply. And starting yoga also begins, also for men and women, 8, 9 years. When you are 8, 9 years, begin yoga. When you are 12, 13 years, implement Udyanabandha. So beginning with small asana practices, go ahead. When you become 12 years, 13 or 14 years, implement Udyanabandha also. And then you go ahead. For both, men also, women also. And if I am not incorrect, some wise people have said it is easier for women to transform. It is easier for women to develop in Kundalini Yoga and any kind of yoga. Because women are naturally devoted. It's in their nature. Devotion is women's nature. I don't know nowadays how women behave. But so far I have understood about women's physiology and mentality. Women are more devotional by nature. If they understand it, they can transform easier. So nature has put some discrimination. Women can transcend things easily than men. Okay. This is how I have seen it. Okay. But practically you have to try it out, how it works. And Manipura Chakra is considered a very important chakra in Kundalini. Direction of energy in the body has been fixed. Upward, downward, lateral, up, down. It's all zigzag. It's fixed. In Kundalini Yoga, we interfere and turn the pathway. Change the direction. This begins with working on the Manipura Chakra. So prana goes upward, apan goes downward. We make it different. When you put your neck forward, prana is blocked. When you pull the perineum up, apan is blocked. See, that which goes upward begin to go downward. Which goes downward begin to go upward. Then they strike together at the abdominal area. If you haven't done it ever in your life, and you are 40 years, 50 years, then you should not jump for it. If you haven't done it, and you are starting when you are in 30s, do it slowly, learn it, and after certain age, skip it. If you have done it from the early childhood, 15, 14, Uddiyana Bandh is such a practice that can be learned even by the children, I can tell you. Growing girls, if they practice Uddiyana Bandh properly, their time of puberty might extend. Puberty, menstruation that happens nowadays in 11 years, 10 years, may extend to 1-2 years more. Uddiyana Bandh is such great technique. It's also for the growing boys and growing girls. Got it? They can do forever. If you teach them from early childhood, 12, 14 years age, then they can do until they wish. So it depends upon how you approach yoga. Until 20, if you begin, you are safe to use it for whatever time of life you want to do it. But plus 30 has a recommendation because your physiology has become very rigid. Very, very rigid. The great time period for yogic life is 20 plus 40 years. Between these two, from 20 years to 40 years, body is mature enough. Before 20, it is still developing and maturing. After 40, it becomes very rigid. So 20 years time is a very great time for evolution. If you have crossed it, be happy with what you have. It's also fine. How it works. So Hatha Yoga is a method of Kundalini process. So elements of Hatha Yoga, elements of Jnana Yoga, elements of Bhakti Yoga, elements of Karma Yoga, elements of Raj Yoga, put together becomes Kundalini Yoga. And training so many people from all parts of the world. And whoever learned, went home, and other times sent me a message. It happened. I can do it now. Everybody said like this. So it's my experience with so many people. Some of them could do very quickly because it's physiology, okay? It's how the nature works for you. It's a bit different. So some have done very easily. For some people, it took a bit time, but it happened to everybody. And the same way was for everybody.